Hello, welcome to the, what are we calling this thing again?
Let's start again.
Take two. Hello, welcome to the Music Lounge video series. I'm Ryan Tanner, here with my good friends Dustin Christensen, Paul Jacobson. We're joined today by our very special friend Branden Campbell. Branden, how are you?
Great. Very
so good to see you.
I know. This is what it finally takes to get all of us together and have this gathering of the beards.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe we should call this bonding with beards.
Yeah. Which is really just a chance for me to push my new product, beard butter.
Ooh. It's like Soul Glow for the beard?
Well, no, it's actually a byproduct that comes from the beard.
So I think the most important question that we wanted to ask you tonight is, you were all in bands with us, first with Dustin, then with me, and then with Paul a little bit. Why did you decide to leave us behind and become successful?
Amazing.
Well, here's the thing,
Amazing.
is that everybody, now everybody is going to realize that, they need to be involved with you guys in order to do that. So it is, in all honesty, though, I think it is, part of it is surrounding yourself with good musicians, all the time. I always liken it to, maybe to basketball. Like, if you're always playing with the little kids, you're not really going to get any better. And so I always try to play with people better than myself, which is why I played with you guys.
Coincidentally, we were all also on the same basketball team at one time.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, you were on the team.
You were there.
I don't remember that.
You blocked that part of your life out.
What was that team called, Dustin?
You don't remember?
What was that team called again? Remember?
Travelers.
So Branden, knowing you as long as we've known you and being friends, and this last couple of years as you've been off making music with the Neon Trees, it's been a pretty, I think it's been a pretty crazy ride. And talk to us a little bit about what it's been like. I mean, this is something you've been thinking about doing your entire life, and now you're playing Madison Square Garden with Duran Duran. I mean, it just has to make your head spin a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. Really, to be able to do that and pay the bills. I always say that maybe the worst day on stage is still better than the best day at the office. I was definitely, doing whatever I needed to during the day so I could play music at night, and, working a variety of day jobs, and eventually, just trying to get it to all come together. But I think ultimately, with everything that has come with the success that we've had, and, people showing up to celebrate our music with us, that it still comes down just to the love of playing bass and, writing music and sharing that with people, and just thinking that, someone is getting something out of it. And so, yeah, it's pretty rad.
Right now we're backstage at Velour, which is obviously a great music venue here in Provo. And I saw you just before you guys you played here, and it was packed. Mm-hmm. And when I saw you guys play on that stage, and I'd seen you play before, but when I saw you guys play, it was like, why the Neon Trees? Like, what about what Tyler was doing, and that kind of what made sense about Branden Campbell being in the Neon Trees?
Well, I think one thing, and obviously there was a moment that all of us were part of here actually at Velour when we did the
Bob Dylan.
The Bob Dylan, tribute night, and he was one of the dudes that I thought it would be interesting, to have Tyler being, not Bob Dylan.
But that was pretty interesting.
Also interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it'd be interesting if I called Bob and he showed up.
When Bob turned us down.
I always thought of Tyler as, this scene kid, hanging out around the clubs and, just being into modern music. And he thought that, I was just this old-timer bass player. I get just into, like, classic rock and things. And we come to find out that and that was true about both of us, but also that both of us had those same interests of each other as well. And so we found out, you know, that we had a lot in common with, you know, old music and new music. And he asked me if I would fill in for a show once, and it just became like this calling almost to me that it was something that I needed to be part of. I think after like playing together and what have you, and really just with the intention of you know, of making music. You know, there was never like the, you know, hey, you know, let's get this band together because, you know, we're gonna try and be famous or anything like that.
Right.
It's really just about making music, and you know, but I think obviously though too, you know, that you get to a point in your life that you realize, okay, let me try and do something with my craft, and let me try and see if I can turn this into my day job. It was good that, you know, that those things came together, and I think it brings up the point of sometimes, you know, why people are producing music. And, you know, obviously with Neon Trees as a band that evolved into, you know, writing music that with the pop sensibility and sounds that were relevant to radio music, and which helped us get on the radio, never with that intention. We never knew if our stuff would exist on, you know, all the radio stations like it has. But I think lots of times, you know, people will ask us, you know, like, you know, what can I do with my music, or what can I, you know, I want to produce this or that. And I think it's finding, you know, the right avenue for it, because, you know, not everyone should be labored with the thought of like, if I write this, you know, could it be on the radio, or can I purposely write something because I hate the radio and I never want to be part of it, and so let me write something like so left field, you know.
Yeah, I wanted to say the reason I ask is because playing music with you and watching you play in other bands and things like that, when I saw you play here at Velour, it made sense. You know, we have a common friend in Pat Campbell, and the highest compliment Pat Campbell can say is, we were just playing music. And when I saw you guys play that night at Velour, and I thought the same thing when I saw you a couple weeks ago at the down at the Galvin Center, was those guys are playing music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're doing it because they love rock and roll. And it made sense to me. Like, and maybe speak a little bit to the chemistry that you found, because I know, like, with Tyler, they'd been through some other band members. Like, why is there something special happening with Tyler, Chris, Elaine, and Branden?
I think part of it is, you know, a lot of my interest in old like soul music and old rock and roll, you know, bringing that and not, you know, taking over anything, but, you know, blending that with the stuff that they're doing, where I think it became more of a rock band, you know, that they were doing a lot of electronic based stuff, and, you know, before. And so I think that with Elaine and myself coming in, that it became more of a rock band. And that's really the way I define it now, that we, you know, I'd say that Neon Trees really is just a rock band playing pop songs.